living in the valley was like living in the future, 3 years ahead of us. So if you spent there a couple of months, and actually it was nearly a year, you really, many things seem so crystal clear to you. So all the major trends we experienced over there, like the internet is going to be mobile, it's going to be everything about data, the Internet of Things, was so convincing that when I came here, I thought now we have to be very fast, you know, with our product, with Build, to change all the things according to what is going to happening. And I was surprised to see that, of course, the discussion over here is way back behind where the discussion in the valley was. So it took a long time, it took weeks, it took a lot of convincing people what is coming to us, and that the things that are coming to us will be much faster and much more radical than we probably anticipated from a today's point of view. But meanwhile, I think we are we did much more discussions, and you can see that in the newspaper. For example, this topic of data mining, big data is discussed now, probably from a different view and different angle as they do it in the valley. But at least these topics now reach us over here, and it's interesting to see. When we talked about this big mobile trend 1 year ago, some people weren't really convinced. Now we can see that at some weekends, especially during the World Cup, over 50% of our traffic was already coming through mobile. So we see now that these things that seem to us crystal clear are actually reaching us over here as well. First of all, you have to change the attitude. You have to change the mindset of your colleagues. You have to change the mindset of the newsroom, of people who are responsible for content, because you have to persuade them that these new technologies, it's not threatening us, it can be a big chance. It's a challenge, but it's a big chance. At the end, what we are doing, creating content, is not dependent on the surface. It's not dependent especially on paper. Actually, if you're a journalist, you want to express yourself. And for that, paper is a very limited surface. It's not only limited by space, it's limited by a deadline. You can't have video, you can't have sound. And with the new technologies, with the new surfaces, with the multiple screens, we can express ourselves 24 hours a day. We can express ourselves in many, many regards. Now, the colleagues that used only to write articles, they can be on video, they are on many, many social platforms. So for us, who are in the business of producing content and distributing content, the new world is a big chance, because we can do much more and can do it in a much more efficient and much more creative way than in the times that we were just limited to paper. So you have to convince the people that it is a good thing for us, and then it is a big challenge to organize your workflow in a way that all the teams know what they have to do. I don't expect every single editor to be able to distribute his content and to express himself on every single screen. But the teams have been able to do so. And that's the way what we did in the last 12 months, that we organized our newsroom in a way that we are able to do our content on all these screens. It's really dangerous to give such predictions, especially predictions about the future, because you never know what's really coming. And talking, this is the one thing, or one of the things I learned in the Valley: don't do any predictions over 5 years, because if you look back 5 years, we didn't have many devices that are nowadays quite usual to us. We didn't even have then. So I don't know what kind of devices we will have in 5 years. What is for sure that we are now at this really exciting tipping point inside the digital disruption itself. So there's this nice sentence, this nice quote, can't remember by whom, who said, mobile is going to do to the internet what the internet did to the rest of the industry. So, and I think this tipping point is a game changer. we've got a new chance. In the world of the free web, in the world of the desktop, we lost we lost a lot of business to players like Google's and others because we did it wrong. We didn't do it right. We were not convinced that we can earn money over there, and this is why we were so late. In that new world that's going to be mobile, in the smartphone world, it's a very different world. We are coming from an open world to a closed app world. There are new ecosystems, and this is a big chance for all publishers. At the end, and this is the most exciting thing for me, at the end it is still all about content. You know, when I was in the Valley, especially in the Silicon Valley, they did not really like content. But actually, nowadays, it's very different. If you see Mark Andreessen is investing into a content producer like BuzzFeed, at the end, all these new technologies are not exciting enough without content. It's like building a great, fantastic super mall, but if there's nothing happening in there, it's just boring. So, and this is for me the thing that really makes me optimistic that all these new technologies are really exciting for us because it's new possibilities for us to distribute our content, to find new channels to users and to readers, and that still content is very important in that new world as well, and this is our core competence. We are not dealing with paper, we are not in the dead wood industry, we are in the content industry. Technology is much more important for us than it used to be, and that's interesting to see, and this is why you have to change the mindset of people as well in the newsroom. Technology is important to us. That's, for example, why nowadays in our newsroom there are much more technology experts than there used to be, because we need the new technologies to distribute our content. In the old paper world, we have this, page one, where we try to find as many topics as possible to attract a mass audience. Nowadays, this is done through technology. It's done through data analyzing. It's done through predicting by algorithms what kind of content my customer is looking for. This is a great chance, because this old world, one size fits all, it's over, and that's why technology is a great chance to us, because we can reach much more people, and we can reach the right people for the right content. And this is even more, this is even very important for the advertising world as well, because it's much more efficient to target people with the right advertisement if I know what they are looking for. And therefore, it is important to understand that matching us with technology is taking us to the future, and is as well a big chance for us, and is not destroying what we can do and what is our core competence.